fuck it. Let's go. We're recording already.
Yeah, let's rock.
We're 46 seconds in. Let's. I'm gonna intro this.
Go ahead.
Oh fuck! I don't want to intro this. Ugh. I'm gonna get another seltzer water and then I'm gonna intro this.
Is that part of the intro?
No, I'm just gonna get a seltzer water.
Yo, I know what an intro is, bro. No cap. It's like a lighter flex at the start of a fucking mixtape or something. I ain't want to make this tape, but you know.
Hey, what you fucking doing? What you fucking doing over there? I hear you talking.
I don't even want to do this recording, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah, baby. Yo, hit that lighter. Yo, smoke the blunt up.
Gross.
This lighter flex my way first.
Blunts are gross, dude.
You're the only one who says that.
Yeah, and I'm. You know what? And I'm fucking right. I'm tired of acting like I'm not.
Sure, Mr. Man. I still like a good blunt.
The Chad, my opinion, versus the Virgin, your opinion.
I don't respect that. I would rather say agree to disagree. I would rather say agree to disagree in a more polite way, but okay.
All right.
That's how I would do it. But all right, if you wanna, I mean, shit, I can't really flex on you because I know you got a piece. So.
Yeah, in fact, my Glock goes pop pop.
Guaco Pops.
Guaco Pops.
Guaco Pop.
Guaco Pops sounds like a cereal. Imagine that.
Yeah.
I bet there's a Wu-Tang cereal somewhere out there. I gotta actually lower my audio. I'm clipping a decent amount.
Word.
Clipping. I'm actually not clipping because no one. Wait, no. Clipping's chill still, right? It was Bus Driver was the one that was. The
Bus Driver?
The no man. Yeah, he did some no stuff.
So
you know the fast rapper.
Oh yeah.
Bus Driver.
Yeah,
I mean, he did stuff like Antoine. Yeah, you're not far off with that, I guess.
Oh shit! Wait, when did that come out? Because I wasn't I haven't paid attention to Bus Driver in like years.
I think a while ago. I think a while ago. I don't really know the full extent of it.
Stuff.
Yeah, that kind of no stuff.
Oh, well, whoopsie.
Whoopsies.
Because that's what happens to fucking LA, I guess.
Yeah, I think it might be mind poison being in LA, let alone like any city, let alone LA is probably terrible for your brain. I have a hard time believing it's good for any part of your brain.
It's probably all those UV rays giving you fucking skin cancer or something.
Hey, check this out. Speaking of brains.
Yo.
Oh shit! Fuck, you see that? You see that transition, bro? Right over the spine. Fucking
dude, yeah, that's sick. I totally saw that with both of my eyes.
Fucking all right. Now let's. I guess we'll start here. I don't like doing this. This is what I'm gonna do. Get ready for this. I don't like this. I'm gonna edit I'll edit this out. One second. Let me. I need some big glasses. I need big stupid glasses.
Oh, are you filming?
I gotta
yourself?
do my podcast. No, fuck no.
You gotta put your face out there for the world to see.
Gotta do my podcast intro.
All right.
I'm a podcaster now. Look out, world. I'm podcasting.
Welcome back.
Welcome to podcasting. All right, well, let's do this. Hi, I'm your host, Garbaggio Garberson. This is Culture Void. Today I'm here with Moms, a.k.a. Please Don't Tell My Moms, Yo. We're talking about mind games. I don't remember who directed this, so you can tell I'm really prepared. Take it away. Who directed this?
Masaki Yuasa.
Yeah.
He is a Japanese director, animator, savant, I would say.
Savant. I would savant seems accurate. This was on the recommendation of Moms.
Yeah.
Do you want me to act like I got hit in the head with a big rock and I don't already know you? Or
no, we do know each other. It's gonna be difficult to pull that act off. So
yeah,
no.
But like, tell people. Do you want to tell people who you are? Is that
who I am?
Yeah,
yeah, sure.
What do you do?
I'm I'm a music producer. I'm an illustrator, and I'm the co-founder of Scum Tapes, and I'm also just like a useless piece of shit.
You're a guy.
Like I'm doing.
You're just some guy.
As well. Yeah, I'm just some piece of shit streamer, and that's pretty much it. There's nothing really else going on. I just draw and paint and make music.
Damn, dude, I spelled straight wrong in my notes.
Straight. fucking amazing.
Off to a
That just
fucking
happens.
rousing start. Yeah, man. So, why did you recommend this movie?
Geez, I can go on for a long time about this guy, but I'll try to keep it succinct for the beginning at least. Mind Game, Masaki Yuasa, just hands down one of my favorite animators. Just if we're just talking specifically just style, oh man, he fucking blows it out of the fucking park. Like, he's just so unique in the way that his animations look, his character designs, his backgrounds, everything about his movies. And Mind Game is just sort of like a treaty to like the scope of his work. Like how, like I think you said it while we were watching it. You said like it's basically just a huge flex. And
it is a fucking colossal flex, and I respect it because it's good enough to to deserve to flex. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That'd be like Arnold Schwarzenegger, and you're like, don't flex. That's crazy. He's got.
Yeah,
flex.
no, yeah, I get. But Masaki is like a dude that's been like one of those OGs that's been in the industry since the 80s. Like he's an old head. When he made Mind Game, he was working on a little known show known as like Crayon Shin-chan. Some of the more weebish people that listen to your stuff will
Shin-chan, isn't that atrociously animated show?
Yes, but
that little Guga.
Yeah, it's a little Guga man. Yeah. He likes to like swing his dick around and shit. Like, it's really weird.
Is he a baby? Is he an adult? Like what?
No. He's like he's supposed to be just like, you know, a child, just a young child, basically. And he's just like a little idiot, basically. But
idiot
Masaki Yuasa was heavily involved in working on that show as helping in animation and stuff. But they also made a movie about Shin-chan, which was partially also animated by him. Like he had a lot of involvement in that. And sort of throughout the years, he kind of worked his way through all these production companies that just to drop a few names like Gainax or Production IG, sort of made connections there. Those are like two of the biggest animation companies, even though Gainax doesn't exist anymore. But
appreciate it, I didn't know what either of those were. Yeah,
Production IG is still around. Gainax isn't around anymore. Gainax is most known for Neon Genesis Evangelion, that one that everybody's fucking talking about all the time.
I've had a lot of people tell me to watch that, and that's the one that's supposed to make me like anime. And I'm here to lay it down straight up. I will never like anime. It's not happening.
Yeah. We've had openly hostile conversations about why anime is whack and why I have no taste.
You have no taste.
I have no taste. I get broken down all the time.
No, a little brown stain watching anime.
Yeah, that's what I am, basically, at that point. But the funny thing is that you're mentioning the sort of hostility towards anime and stuff. For a long time, even with the critical acclaim that Masaki was getting for his work, at least in his home country of Japan, in the Western anime world where it was sort of coming into its own, people for the longest time like shat on fucking Masaki's style. There weren't a lot of people that were like 100% invested into. Yeah, they were like not into his shit until a couple of years back. He did the show Devilman Crybaby.
Oh, wait. Is that the same? This is the same guy?
Yeah, he did Devilman Crybaby.
Yeah, well, I didn't watch that, but I know about it.
Yeah, it's. I saw it. It's pretty fucking cool, but
that kind of wraps around to something I wanted to bring up. But I'll let you finish your point.
Yeah. So, but then after Devilman Crybaby, everybody all of a sudden loved him because Devilman Crybaby was sort of like an established IP, and it's been through so many fucking iterations at that point. But like Masaki's spin on that just brought it into a more modern angle and also beautifully animated, of course, courtesy of him and Science Saru, his own production studio that he has been going on for like a couple of years now.
Oh, nice.
It's been pretty hot.
No, I was just going to say, it seems like he has a pretty broad art style. I just looked up some of his other movies, some of his other projects, and there doesn't really seem to be a consistency, which is super interesting because he's so fucking like ridiculously talented in what's going on in this movie. I mean, obviously there's a team that put the whole vision together, but you know what I mean. He's still directing it. It's just super interesting to see that they're like he's just that fucking talented. It seems like it's crazy.
Yeah, he was sort of like the underdog wunderkind of the Japanese animation sort of thing.
Shout out to all the Indigo children.
Basically, yeah. It's kind of funny to me that like nobody really knows his history just beyond. Okay, I know he did Cat Soup, which was also like a little weird fucking show that he did. I have this book by him called. I have it on my desk here. Sketchbook for Animation Project is one of my favorite books one of my favorite art books that I own. And it's all of his projects from Crayons Shin-Chan up to Kick Heart, which was like a Kickstarter backed like little animation he did. Also very fun, and it's sort of like typical Yuasa. It's almost weird to say typical Yuasa style, but if you see the style he draws in, there's a lot of like overlap between his projects. You know what I mean? So you watch Mind Game, but then you watch something like Kaiba, for example. You'll see a lot of reoccurring themes in the way he designs characters, or like these weird sort of amalgamations of characters. Like in Mind Game, you have that sequence where Nishi, our main male protagonist, meets God, right? And God, like he interprets God in all of these different ways. But it's always something fucking weird. It's like it's a wrestler. It's a fucking like some weird.
They're
old
like
guy.
freakish little creatures, dude. They're little goblins. It's all sorts of yeah. Oh, dude, the fish head smoking the cigarette was chef's kiss. Great, love that visual.
There was a lot of funny little moments in there, and that styling of characters comes back throughout a lot of his work.
Yeah, well, I was also gonna say there's like some nice background characters if you pay attention. There's just like weird little like.
Yeah,
that like people are just like they have like stick figureheads with like crude like faces and smiles. It's weird, but I like it.
Yeah, it's sometimes you can almost say it's childish in the way he draws them, but at the same time, considering that your main focus is supposed to be on the main character, it's sort of a nice treat to see like a weird scar-faced little doodle guy in the background looking all weird. Like you see that in a couple of the sequences throughout the movie where, you know, for example, again, Nishi works at the, like it's established that he works at a...
Let's slow it down for a second. Let's talk about the plot real quick. Let's
get that out of the way.
Let's kind of like get into that so we can get into the beef, the meat, the roast beef, the prime rib.
Okay, so I guess we could,
do we want to start like that, like, I guess it is linear in a way, but...
It's also very non-linear.
Yeah, we'll get there. Well, yeah, the point is that it's not linear. Spoilers for the movie, by the way.
Yes, big fucking spoilers. If you're listening at this point and you haven't seen it,
get out now.
I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna come to your house personally.
That, dude.
Yeah, I'm gonna fucking annihilate you, dude. I'm gonna get scraped. But no, for real, like, watch the movie first and then come back to this so you can hear my dumb opinions on this. Honestly,
my opinions are smart and good, though.
Yeah, mine are dumb and stupid, but hey, whatever works. You know?
So I don't know. Do you want to popcorn this? Do you want to take it? You take it away.
Oh, it's gonna be a tough one because let's start talking about just the beginning, like up until the after the death, when he comes back for the first time. Okay, so the movie starts. Let's try to get this scene by scene. Starts in a car, and you see a man just running out of this car. It's raining. It's very moody, and it already flexes his art amazingly in the beginning. But it starts showing this character running up a staircase in this car pulling away, and there's this huge fucking guy with a football under his arm, a soccer ball for people in the States, under his arm, and he's apparently chasing a girl, right? And they chase him up into, there's a whole little chase sequence that goes on, and she ends up going into a train, and she gets her foot stuck in the door, right? So that all happens in like a span of like maybe a minute and a half.
Yeah, it's a very quick sequence.
Yeah. And
here comes our main character.
Yeah, we got our main character Nishi or Nish-kun, as the female character's name is Mion. She is a very busty, cute looking lady.
Yeah, that is pretty spot on description.
And she is apparently, it's already established early on that these two characters also know each other from like back in the day, like they're friends
from grade school. Some real anime shit. That was the most anime the movie got, and I was pretty happy about that.
Yeah, it had some like juvenile moments. So as the movie goes on, you have your, like your little mind game, like title card and stuff. But at the same time, it's showing also other clips of like another timeline that doesn't like refer to Myon or Nishi. This whole thing going on there at the beginning. Very great soundtrack, by the way.
Soundtrack throughout was quite good.
Yeah, but I'll get into that as well because that's pretty impressive.
All right, let me jump in here. Then we move to Myon's ramen shtick. It's a shtick restaurant. I don't know what shtick is.
Like a yakitori.
Yakitori. It's like little squid balls, huh? Okay.
Yeah, like little squid balls or whatever. I bet
that's
just
tasty as fuck, dude.
The food looks great in this movie.
I mean, all anime food does look good.
Even the weird, like weird sort of like you said it like best, like sort of like sloppy clean style of it. It looks great. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah, we're there, and then we smash cut. I guess not really smash cut. We just cut to Yakuza, the two Yakuzas that were chasing Myon through the subway outside in the car, getting ready to go in. One of them is in the soccer uniform. I couldn't help but see that guy. Every time I saw him, dude, I just saw Mickey Mouse. I don't know why. I don't know if that was on purpose, but he looked like Mickey Mouse to me. Like, with the red trousers and, like, the black body paint. I just saw Mickey Mouse.
Oh, yeah. I thought he was wearing a diaper.
Oh, you thought he was a poopy baby, huh?
Well, I mean, yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, he was.
I think the character was Atsu. That was the football guy, right? You're talking about
the footballer. The soccer man. You got it right that time, bucko.
Yeah,
this is an American podcast. God damn it.
Yeah, soccer man. I'll say for both.
They go inside to the stick restaurant. They start, oh, well, fuck, I forgot. Nishi and Myon and Myon's boyfriend are all hanging out, drinking beer.
And Myon's sister.
Oh, yeah, Myon's sister is in there. She runs the restaurant.
Yes.
And now these Deweys are inside, and they start running afoul because someone stole World Cup tickets and a girl, apparently. It's never really made super clear. I didn't really understand that, so you take over here. Yeah, you...
I'll hop into that. So it's established that Myon's dad, apparently they went there to confront him, I think with the intent to kill him, of course, as gets shown later in the scene. But like they come in just waiting for him, and they're just sort of like this tension builds in the air, and the soundtrack changes and the lighting changes, and it starts getting more tense, and it just builds up, and then eventually Atsu, the big guy, like pops his football and just flips basically and pulls out a fucking gun, and everybody's just diving to the floor. I think then he threatens Myon, like to sexually assault Myon, and her boyfriend tries to like come in between, but he just gets knocked out instantly. He just gets fucking scraped.
And his wig, dude.
Oh yeah, his wig came off.
Gets punched so hard his wig comes off, dude. There's a lot of really nice little details like that if you pay attention. There's just like
insanely subtle as well.
Yeah, super subtle, super quick little details like that.
Yeah, like Myon goes down then under when he's on the floor, or like against like the
she puts his hair back on.
Yeah.
Great.
And it's like those little things. So he starts getting very handsy with Myon, punches her, and then he notices Nishi cowering. Like he's just like, oh, he's crying, he's slobbering and all this shit because he doesn't know what to do. And Atsu walks up to him with his fucking piece out, puts it against Nishi's asshole, and then like Nishi, like it makes this fucking crazy like 3D pan cut through his shirt into his face, and he's like saying, I'm gonna hurt you, but before he can utter the sentence, he gets just popped through the rectum right for the head.
Ass literally blasted.
An insanely brutal scene. Like the movie
that really
starts
caught me off guard. I'm not gonna lie, because I went into this movie completely blind. I don't really watch a lot of animated movies, or even I don't watch anime, and I definitely don't watch animated movies. Not that there's anything wrong with them. It's just it's just not really my bag.
Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I'm not, But for me, being into cartoons, comic books, manga, just illustration.
Yo, I do like manga though. I'm gonna completely contradict myself and say manga is tight, anime is whack.
That's the thing. It's I can sort of enjoy both forms for what they are. You know, I feel like with manga, it usually ends up that you have more time to spend on drawings, more detail, and so, for example, like to veer off topic for 1 second, like you look at Junji Ito's artwork, it looks great in the manga, and it fits perfectly for the medium, but it doesn't really work, or it hasn't really been successfully done yet in like an animated form. His styling, at least.
Yeah, well, it's never going to happen, but they're definitely trying. I just know that show's not coming out ever. It's not happening. Yeah, it's not fucking happening. I don't believe it's going to ever come out.
I mean, considering the amount of detail that goes into Ito's work, it's going to either take a very long fucking time, or it's just
completely disappoint. Or yeah, I mean, I just think it's not going to like. I just think it's going to be being made forever. And when that happens, like, you know, when something just gets made for a ridiculously long time, sooner or later the original vision just gets lost, sort of. Like,
yeah,
it's just harder to stay consistent. Anyways, let's not go completely off the rails here.
Yeah. But like, yeah, just for someone coming from my perspective of like, you know, because I illustrate and I make drawings all the time and dabble a bit in animation here and there, like stuff like this is just impressive to watch. Like, even if you aren't really getting
it's
the
just
story,
impressive to watch, and like even if you're not any of those things, I think.
Yeah,
some of the 3D hand drawn stuff is I don't know if it's rotoscoped, but either way, it still looks amazing. Like,
I would say it's mixed media.
There's definitely some mixed media, but I'm trying to think that maybe some of the car stuff with the 360 pans, maybe that could have been rotoscoped somehow. But
oh yeah, just very creative little eye tricks and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. Just in general, I mean, yeah. And then also, I love the PS1, PS2 level graphics that are occasionally are interspersed on their faces. Kind of brushed over that, but.
The photos.
Yeah, it reminds me of the game Siren. I don't know if you've ever played that. Just the way when it cuts to that, it's So when they made when they made the game, the way they did the character models was they took pictures like real people's faces, took pictures of them from different angles, and then superimposed it on top of the 3D character model. It looks really fucking weird. It's cool because I guess it's a horror game, but it reminded me of that a lot. I don't know. It gave me that vibe.
This is less scary, you know. It's very like the thing about this movie. It's very vibrant in its color,
except for the part where he gets his fucking brains blown out. Like that is like it was so upbeat. Like it was like melodramatic up until that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like its content, and then it's just like, and now a guy's getting his butthole shot out. Like it really took me for a loop.
The thing is that the movie, just as a side note, it does do a lot of things with color. It usually implies something, you know? I mean, most movies do this as well. Like, if it's a somber, sadder, more kind of grounded scene, the lighting can change. Or if it's something more optimistic, the lighting changes. And this movie uses that to the fucking nines. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the interactions, colors, and also a lot of the actions are highlighted by, like, motion and perspective.
Yes.
Like, to enhance tension, or to, like, you know, it's sometimes just the way something is, like, slanted, it makes, like, see the negative in energies, dude, the energies.
Yeah, it's almost like, the best way to describe the way he uses perspective is, like, hyper perspective. Like, it's like, imagine, like, a wide-angle lens, but you go really close to your objects. You know what I mean? Like a Beastie Boys video or something. Like, it all looks, like, way, like... very hyper, very crazy, like realistically speaking.
With the fucking, I just fucking.
No, what I mean for this specifically.
With the fisheye though, the Beastie Boys fisheye, dude. Rapping into a fisheye was iconic, dude.
Dude, fucking intergalactic, man. It'll never. Or check it out.
Yeah, what you want, I think, also had a fisheye. They really abused that. I'm gonna be honest.
Blame Spike Jonze for that one. He fucking loves his fisheye too much.
Okay, so he's dead, and he goes to heaven. We already talked about this briefly, but he sees God, like kind of just in all these different insane ways to highlight his imagination.
Yes, exactly. But before that, he's in a fucking black void, crying and sobbing and slobbering and just being pathetic. And
seeing his death in fucking 4K from all angles, dude. It's crazy.
And it's this cyber computer in heaven, basically, that he's in, that's just like talking shit to him. Just calling him like a fart and a weasel and a loser and all this other shit.
I got another video game vibe from that, dude. That reminds me of System Shock. And spoilers for System Shock 2. Fucking 25-year-old game at this point. But when you fucking go and you find that the person you've been talking to is dead the whole time, and then like the fucking walls fly away, and then Shodan's fucking like comes up and like all the walls and the floor and everything. Give me that same vibe. And just like a big fucking empty void, like esoteric fucking slamming in from a million feet away. I like that shit.
And it's kind of like a very interesting way of like this was your life. This was the last few moments of it, and you get to enjoy it for eternity. But eventually he stands up, he gets a bit angry, but he just grabs into the void, and it's like a cloth. He grabs a cloth, he pulls it down, and then we get the scene where he meets God. And like I said earlier, because there's no set image of God to him, it just changes to all of these different types of character designs, like ranging from like silly little cartoon characters to like very busty, sexy women to like fucking wrestlers. Like it just flips the whole time between all of these character designs, and it's amazing. It's one of my favorite sequences in that whole movie. And basically at that point, God's just like telling him like, yeah, you're dead. It's over, dude. Here, go into that red void over there.
He has a date. He says, go over there and you'll disappear. I have a date, which I was thinking about in the shower this morning, and I was like, who's God going on a date with?
I don't know.
It's a fun. I think it's fun. It's just a fun. It's just like, and he's like, yeah, I love when he's like putting the pomade in his hair, like giving him a Johnny Bravo like pompadour, dude.
Yeah. Like there's always influences from different, like all of these different places. Like the pompadour thing was like a whole thing in Japan.
Yeah, the leather jacket pompadour motorcycle guy.
Yeah, the ones that do all the weird dancing in the parks. Those guys.
Hell yeah.
Looks like a load of fun though.
But, so he starts walking into Red Void. Then he says, "What if I ran into the other void?" Which he does. Like a blue ring, yeah, it's red or blue, so he went through the blue portal. And he just decides to
take his fucking chance, and he's just booking it.
If you go through the red portal, you become an incel.
My moment of retribution will come one day. Just gets reincarnated into Elliot
Rogers. Fuck, dude. No, but he runs through the blue portal. God is running with him as a cheetah. Some kind of maybe a jaguar. But anyways, jaguar, he's like starting to fade away, but he has enough willpower to run all the way through. And then God says, "I'm on your side."
Yes. Which comes back into the movie a couple times down the line as well. So then all of a sudden, bam, we get back to the scene just before Nishi gets fucking clapped at that point. Like, and now he has a second chance, and now he can't squander it, you know? It'd be kind of fucking pathetic if the movie was like, did it again, just shot him again just for shits and giggles. But
that would have been something else, dude.
But instead, he does this fucking insane butt clench, fucking rollover, and grabs the gun.
Snatches the gun with his butt cheeks.
Yeah, snatches the gun with his butt cheeks, grabs the gun, and shoots Atsu in the head. Just fucking all in one swift motion. Just
blast him.
And then all of a sudden, he just has like a complete change of character for a while, where it's like he's just like
literally has the power of God and anime on his side. He becomes like an anime protagonist for like 20 minutes. Or maybe like, it's probably shorter than that. The car chase was fucking just exquisite, dude. Amazing animation.
Kiss on that one.
I was talking about this when we were watching it, but it really reminds me of Bill Plimpton a lot. He does some stuff with like cars and perspective that's super similar and fucking just a delight to watch. Yeah, that's right. I described it as a fucking delight.
It is a delight, though. But like, the thing is, you mentioning like Western animators, like Yuasa wasn't, when he was growing up, wasn't looking at his contemporaries. He wasn't looking at Japanese animators. He was looking at Western animators. I wouldn't be surprised if he got like influence from Plimpton, but he definitely mentioned like Tex Avery and stuff as like inspiration.
Yeah, well, I think that Bill Plimpton kind of also takes a lot of inspiration from early animation, like early Western animation. You know what I mean? When it was very fluid, super high frame rate, fucking 9 billion frames to draw.
Yeah.
I
It's
mean,
actually
honestly,
really
I wish
fucking
animation
enjoyable.
still was like that. I really wish it was all still hand-drawn, because, I don't
You
know.
just need a huge fucking team of people because that's the thing with
It's always
modern
good. It's
animation.
always
that I
going to
feel-
look better, dude. It's just like practical effects.
Oh, yeah.
It's just always going to look better, no
So,
matter
for example,
what.
we can knock on modern Disney a lot, for example, but their roots, like a lot of their earlier animations, are
Oh,
gorgeous.
Steamboat
to
Willie,
look at.
dude. Even Steamboat Willie, it's like it's so alive. Like
Looney Tunes was also
Looney Tunes
early.
always goes off. I wish a very pleasant day to all Looney Tunes enjoyers.
I feel like the moment like animation got a little bit cheaper was maybe the Hanna-Barbera
Flash,
era.
no,
because
Flash animation. As much as I loved Newgrounds growing up, and I still appreciate people who came from that era of animation, but Flash fucking killed animation, dude, because everything just became vector and fucking like weird flat bullshit. Also, fucking Cal Arts, eat shit. You heard me.
Yeah, we've
tired
had many.
Tired of your round facial features.
Tired of your.
Let me see some angles, motherfucker.
What you call that shit? Like templates. They just have the same template.
No,
like
it's literally
Gumball,
it's like Peter. Yeah,
Footballs.
that is the most powerful indictment of that. Like, dude, like this, like watching this was like watching a real animation. You know what I mean? This movie, like,
for sure.
It is like, this is an animation, and I'm gonna use that to the fullest the medium like can be used.
Yeah.
Like, it uses animation in every possible way. Maybe except I don't think there's any stop motion in the movie, but still, like, pretty much every, like, it was like, fuck, how do I describe this? It's like when
Yeah,
he just used it to like the most, like, as he put, like,
oh yeah, he just
like, it was
everything.
like but like he's like animation, like, he's like, I guarantee this was his thought. He was like, I can do literally anything, and then he literally did anything. Like,
yes,
you know, like he gave himself no barriers on what he was gonna put on the screen or on the paper.
No, his idea is he just let that shit just free flow from his fucking big brain just onto the
some
paper.
of this movie is like literally psychedelic. Like,
oh yeah, but we'll get into that as well because the psychedelic parts really start. So we
car
are at the chase scene. We're at the chase scene, which has he
kills like 10 people.
Kills like 10 people. There's a funny gag where a guy jumps into their car but misses, and then he starts running really fast, and then like you think,
he's running out.
Shit.
Yeah, dude, I wrote straight up Looney Tunes in my notes when that was happening. I've figured out where we are in my notes now, so that's good.
And then we also go to a scene where he's trying to jump with onto this truck, right? So the truck pulls away, like he jumps up, gets off the truck again. The truck pulls forward, and there's two trucks, and there's a small like slit of space in between. And then we have a weird little moment where I think it's like going to a flashback where Nishi was at a movie theater and saw like a maneuver happen.
He literally thought about Fast and Furious and applied it to life, dude. He's like, it was like literally some shit from Fast and Furious. That's ridiculous. I love it.
And at first, like, yeah, it's going well, and then this car starts tumbling in a very comedic fashion. Again, very Looney Tunes.
Literally cartwheels, yeah. It's great. There's a blockade with some more ramps, and this is the part of the movie that I don't want to say it almost lost me, but having a ciggy, mate.
Of course.
I don't want to say it lost me, but it took me off guard. It flies off the jump, and a giant whale eats them. I didn't expect a giant whale to be in this movie. I don't know what I was expecting, but that really was a colossal left turn.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? And you know what, dude? Nishi's actions put him in a whale of a problem. You get it? Because it's a big whale. Whoa!
Dude, you should be on the stage, bro.
This is why we're recording this. That fucking gold right there.
Yeah, you got it, dude.
I'm gonna grab a seltzer water. I'll be right back.
Comedy Central. I'll keep talking about.
Oh yeah, fucking. Yeah, I have trite bullshit to say mostly. So you pick up the plot. I'll be right back in like 10 seconds.
All right, cool. So as the plot continues, they end up in this whale. Before that, there's a couple of very interesting scenes that happen throughout the car chase. There's a moment where he's talking to the Yakuza leader, basically like the big Yakuza boss, and he is like the father or like friends of Atsu, and he's basically telling Nishi like you're done for, your shit is over, you're a criminal. But
he's gonna end your whole shit.
Yeah, but Nishi is just like still like whatever, old man. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like he just fucking completely goes in against it.
Literally
and then you have a little
cowboy
scene.
mode.
Yeah, he's just like,
Put on.
my life has more meaning than you think, brother. And he just rides off. And then you have a scene where they are going through a harbor, and they go through this fucking like warehouse full of like these weird little blue babies. Like it's apparently toys. And then it cuts to another car. And then there's this weird fade out that happens for a minute, and you see like a child crying, and he's crying for his like little bird called Pitch or Peachy in the movie.
Bro, I literally forgot about this. Wow.
And like he holds it up to his finger and is like, "Oh, hey, what are you doing here?" And then just smash cuts into like the car getting fucking rammed by a truck.
No, it pans up. It's a real bird, and it's got a little halo. And he's like, "Oh,
Yeah,
you're here! You came back!"
And then he realizes, I think, what happens, and then gets fucking like smash cut, bam, gets hit by a fucking truck. All these cars go flying. But anyway, let's jump forward again. So does a sick jump off of a bridge, ends up in a fucking whale, right? They wake up, and Nishi again goes for this weird character motion of like, hey, life's an adventure, and like his facial expression changed to a much more like simplified yet funny looking expression where it's like, it's an adventure, like let's go on an adventure, basically. Mion's there, and the sister of Mion's there.
He's also talking about grade school, like some grade school bullshit after,
Yeah, like swimming and stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is actually also comes into play with the character of Mion as well.
Yes.
And you'll find out more about that as the movie goes along. So they're looking around inside of this black void. They actually think for a second that they're dead, right? Which is kind of funny because it happened earlier that he wasn't a black void when he was dead. But
there's also that little clip of the god saying, "You again."
Yeah, basically, like, because that's basically meant that he fucking died, I guess, and then just God was like, okay, fucking go back.
Whatever, get out of here. I got a date.
Scram,
I got a damn date.
I got a damn date with someone, like we don't know who.
Something.
Mother Nature. That would be.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Mother Nature is a cruel mistress, but God loves it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna blow right past that.
Yeah, of course you get.
They swim to a boat. They get on a boat. They're tired. Yada yada yada. Little old man with a funny round nose shows up.
Yeah, he's crying. He's like fucking also slobbering and shit. But he's like surprised to see people.
Yeah, he's pretty taken aback. They go to Blight Town from Dark Souls 1.
Yes.
That's really that's like literally that's all I could think about with what I really mean is they go to like a raised living space that this guy's built inside the belly of the whale.
Exactly, yeah.
It looks a lot like Blight Town in a really nice way. It looks fucking awesome, but it's a really cool, vibrant, like he's got all these crazy knickknacks and like panty wearing mannequins. He's like a weird old pervert, I guess, but it's like it's like not in a weird way. I don't even know. Like it's like a what's up with Japan and like just being like, oh, he's a pervert. That's funny. Wee. Like
I have no idea where that trope came from.
It seems like it's culturally a thing, dude.
Considering that Japan is some weird isolationist place, some weird shit comes out of Japan, dude. Like, I can't even explain it.
Yeah, I guess that's what happens when there's, like, no input. It's just, like, you just get...
Fuck it, let's make our own. It's our own thing.
Ouroboros.
Yeah.
All right, but essentially...
How did they get there?
They get stumped... I want to say they get saved because the whale was, like, flushing its stomach out, right?
Something like that.
Yeah, he like they hop on a boat because the whale's stomach starts rumbling. But they get up to these like living quarters, and then we kind of get this sequence where it's just like, I don't even know, like they're kind of just chilling, eating delicious sushi. They're talking about like how long this guy's been down there. He doesn't even know what a rotating sushi bar is. They lied to him about robots existing, I believe. Mion tells him that there was a robot aisle at the hardware store, which I think she was just gaslighting him. I don't know what that...
No, I think she was like being like generally inquisitive, being like, I saw like that at a store, but him thinking like, because it's established that he's been in the belly of like this
30
whale.
years, I think, right?
30 years, yeah. 30 years. I mean, a lot can change. And all of these characters are just came out of that world, basically. So, of course, and knowing Japan and fucking advanced robot technologies and shit that they do, they probably had like weird little robot shits everywhere. And so that happens, and it's a funny little sequence. They have a conversation, they have a good meal. It's all very lighthearted. They drink a little bit, they have a good time, and then we have them trying to escape again. They're like, okay, let's get out of here.
Yeah, well, no, Nishi's like drunk, and he's like, let's go, time to roll, and they stand on some gross fleshy wall bits, and then I think it happens again where the stomach starts rumbling and it flushes out, and he has to get saved, and he wakes up and he's a real curmudgeon. He's grumpy. He won't eat any of his food, even when they fly the airplane right into his mouth.
Exactly.
That happens in the movie 100% too. You're gonna have to watch. You're gonna have to watch the movie yourself to see that too.
It's established for a couple of days throughout that.
It's actually established for a couple of days that he only eats airplane style.
Yeah. Here comes the big airplane. But it's an interesting sequence because again the lighting changes.
Yeah, it becomes much grim. It's yellow and it's like puke color.
Puke greenish, like kind of dim puke greenish. The old man's trying to be like very positive about the situation, like, oh, come on, like there's a lot of things we can do down here, like because he's been down there for so long, he had to make his own entertainment. And
and then he wants to take them to a fun spot. He keeps saying, my friends, and also we forgot about the part where Myeon and her sister take a bath, and Myeon's sister cuts her hair.
That happens during that sequence where he talks about the fun place.
Is that okay? Oh, maybe you're right. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's like he's having the conversation, and everybody's.
But I thought they were still. No, I think we got this a little mixed up because they were still chilling and being happy, being weird booby perverts.
Oh yeah, they were. Oh yeah, that was like a little scene.
Yeah, and then we cut. Then the stomach thing happened, and we're in puke green. But anyways, Nishi's he's freaking out. He starts tearing the place up, screaming. Kind of acting like a little bitch. He's like being all like, poor me, why doesn't anybody care about me?
Exactly. Pulls out
and then he pulls down a curtain and reveals Plan S.
Yes. Which, going by the fact, what is established in that scene is apparently there were a ton of other people that the same thing happened to, of ending up in a fucking huge whale, and they all couldn't cut it. So there's like all these things, like there's nooses, there's fucking like.
Wait, I thought it was like here's the way I saw it, because we see a bunch of nooses and they have like stuffed animals in them.
Yeah.
And then we see all like the number of years carved into a wall, and then there's one noose that's empty.
And there's messages that say, I'm so sorry and stuff like that.
Oh, dude, the way I read it, I thought it meant like every year he was hanging a stuffed animal when he didn't kill himself.
That would be a pretty interesting insight, because there are like, it goes into the darkness. You know what I mean? Like all these creatures, like all these like stuffed animals, like there's such a long line of them. There's like a very fascinating interpretation of it. But I would think that it is like, because there's messages written on this board that's next to the noose that's like, oh God, I'm so sorry.
It seems like a pretty sick place to be chilling. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I mean, I would hang out. I would hang out with that dude.
Yeah, it seems like
apparently his food is fucking sick. So, but anyways, Nishi kind of freaks out. I believe he takes the tumble into
so
the
he
water.
Has a change of heart. Yeah, it has a change of heart. Wants to go up to the home. He's having fun. Falls off the bridge that leads up to their fun place, and falls into the water. And he has this like little cry in the water and stuff. And then
quick little
gets
cry.
Lifted up. Yeah, he lifts a little gnat out of the water by his finger, and then he gets lifted out of the water himself by this weird white bulge. And
it also looks like he's getting lifted up by the gnat briefly, which I thought was an interesting imagery. He chose to save something and then rose up himself. But yeah, introduce the plesiosaur. Didn't expect that either.
It's never explained how it's down there or why it's down there, but assuming that it's down there and considering the size of the fucking whale, like, because it's huge, like you see the shots of it, of this whale.
It is like I think they say Godzilla. The Yakuza guys call it God. They say Godzilla when they see it. Like one of them says like Godzilla.
Exactly. And I think it's just established. I think it's like supposed to be like a prehistoric whale. Like it's just this thing that has transcended.
That's why there's
time.
a plesiosaur in it, right?
I would assume that's
kind of
the
how
case,
it's kind of how I got. I don't understand how the plesiosaur is still alive. I mean, there's probably more than one, but it's got a little ascot on it.
Yeah, and it's apparently like just cool.
And then we get art dance sequence.
Yeah,
it's just like all of a sudden it's classical music and like
synchronized swimming. Yeah,
it honestly reminded me of like kind of like just like again old animations that I had to watch in art school. Fucking like when you have to watch like like here's like some fucking guy in art. He's a famous artist and he had to use this music because he was a poor art student just like you.
Yeah,
you're gonna make it, kiddo. Promise you.
Don't worry. Yeah, I promise. Art school is such a worthy investment.
It's totally worth the money. $40,000 a year. Yup.
$40,000 a year.
What do you mean you can learn how to do this on YouTube?
What do you mean you can learn this just by yourself if you just have the gumption for it? What the fuck? No, you have to be here so we can tell you that you're never going to
See, that's the problem. Nobody's got any gumption anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
There's not nearly enough gumption.
No, it's all because I mean, I've ranted about art schools enough, so I'm gonna.
Yeah, we don't need to go down that. That's like
we've already.
Yeah,
that's a dark path because we both have experience with it.
Anybody who's aware of us is aware that how we feel about art school.
Yeah, exactly. So back then, at this point, the movie just becomes this like super happy, fucking psychedelic, colorful, like all these crazy things are happening.
Well, you forgot to mention the weird. We do another art dance sequence.
I think shortly after the swimming.
Literally,
sequence, right?
literally almost directly after, where Mion's sister, I don't remember her name, is wearing a cat girl booby penis having.
Yeah, it's like bunny ears.
Yeah,
and it's like this weird like balloon fucking.
I don't really even know how to describe it, but it's got all the genitalias. But we do
having a weird little moment there with
crazy shit. It's all exploding. This movie has a lot of sexual themes for sure. Like,
oh yeah,
that's
at
like just
points,
blatantly overt. It's very up. It's not like it's not upfront about it. You know what I mean? But yeah, dude, I don't know. It's crazy. But then after that, this is something that I couldn't get out of my mind. Is that like Bob's Burgers absolutely ripped off the character design for the really fucking annoying one. From this movie, the same fucking hat and green shirt, dude. Crazy, like, dude, so shameless.
But it's shameless because he stole it from a way better animation and put it into a shitty animation.
I mean, Bob's Burgers, like it. John Benjamin. You know what, John Benjamin? I love Dr. Katz. It's a great show. But John Benjamin just has fucking floated by on just being deadpan guy for too long. I'm putting my foot down.
It's time for a change.
Time for him to do a new voice. He only does one voice, dude. He needs to do a new voice, or it's over.
I watched some of Bob's Burgers when it came out, and I mean, one or two things I thought were funny, but I feel like there's other shows.
Honestly, I don't really mind the show that much. Really fucking everyone that I know that's like really into it is just fucking insufferable to be around.
Yeah, it's the same as like any fan base. Like, look at fucking Steven Universe, for example. Like,
I'd rather not.
Yeah.
I'd really rather not look at Steven Universe. Full stop.
Yeah, it's just like completely like not just enjoying the animation, but like enjoying, I don't know, socio-political topics.
Steven Universe is an identity that's prepackaged, and it's for people who don't want to put in the effort to learn interesting skills. You know what I mean? It's just like, you just like, oh, I like Steven Universe. Now I have like, there's a group, there's merch to buy that I can wear. I can rock
Consume product.
Yeah,
Consume
dude.
Product.
Consume
and then
product and get excited for next product. Exactly, dude.
That's such a good analogy that Jay Bauman made.
Yeah, it's fucking spot on. Dude, honestly, I'm shocked it took us 50 minutes to bring up RLM in any capacity. I thought there was going to be at least
Multiple
one before that.
times,
Yeah. Dude, it's crazy. I watch that more than TV. Well, that's not even like without a doubt. Fucking TV is piss. We're fucking flying off the rails. Let's get back to we're inside the whale.
And
art scene is over.
Get to learn more about like the motivations of these characters. Like the only one that's most mysterious in the whale, surprisingly enough, is the old man that's been there for 30 years. But we get to know like, Nishi wants to be a manga artist. Myon had like a burgeoning career in swimming, which again is
until her boobas got big.
Yeah, exactly.
Line in the movie.
And the sister, like Myon's sister, is kind of like put up as a creative type that was sort of suppressed by the environment and having to like pick up the slack of,
having to do all the work,
basically. Yeah, like to have to upkeep the family because the father was never there, the mother's out of the picture, and like she's like finally like free to express herself. So that happens for a while. A lot of these scenes where you kind of get character establishment, then you get like another sex scene on the boat, and
they have like a little moment, and then the whale hooks them up.
Oh hell yeah!
The whale rumbles and they stumble. The whale rumbles and they stumble into each other.
But before that, we get a weird little sequence where they're on the boat and Nishi's telling like his new story concept, and it's about
the shit comic, dude.
Yeah,
I forgot about the shit comic.
Yeah, so he's like talking about these. It's kind of like a self-insert of him shows up in this as well. It's like, so the idea of this comic is like, there's a space crew that's going through space and they crash land on some weird fucking planet, right? And apparently there's nothing to eat for humans there, but then there's this one specific creature, and its poop is apparently edible
and delicious. It's really tasty. They say it's really tasty. Plus, I'm hungry for shit.
But yeah, the story goes on, and it's like, it establishes this predator is kind of like slow, can't really catch higher prey, so they upkeep this creature, this Guga, and then new predators come along, and the story sort of just keeps evolving like that. But then it's established that they're actually not in space, they're inside of a molecule, and they're growing. And then it just kind of pans out, and they're in like
their inner lower intestines, dude. It's fucking gross, honestly.
It's gross, but I still think it's funny.
It was funny, but it was fucking bizarre and weird, dude. Just the shit eating and the now we're shit, like dude. This is what is weird. It's just weird to follow the joke about eating shit up with two people that talk about the shit inside of somebody, and then they have sex in the same movie in like a bang 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 sequence. It's just weird. I'm just saying. Yeah. It's a weird it's a weird sequence.
I mean, that's the thing. It's like the thing to note about this. The thing about this movie is it just kind of like goes about a lot of different emotions throughout the entire movie. But I think the big like overlapping sort of emotions, usually like very humorous, very positive. Even when they're in this whale stomach, they're like having a good time, and they're discovering like, well, let's first talk about the sex scene. So the sex scene then just transitions when the whale hooks him up and the whale is fleshing out again. And you have this, again, very like well-crafted, psychedelic, crazy-looking animation using like painted frames, like with acrylics or whatever.
A lot of suggestive imagery.
Oh yes, like trains going through
trains and tunnels.
Yeah, it works. You know what I mean? And it's just like it's an insanely another like kind of like testament to his like love for mixed media, because the train sequence is like this weirdly like sort of composed sort of pseudo 3D thing that they're doing, mixed with like photo animation where they like just take pictures frame by frame, and 3D and like just compositing very oddly, and then it goes into like the more classical animation styles, but even then it's very psychedelically handled. So they have their little moment. They have a love eruption, and love
eruption. Honestly, dude, some of the visuals reminded me of like I don't want to say blaxploitation because I don't know how many blaxploitations movies it was actually in, but you know, like Black Dynamite, when there's a sex scene and like it's like the Gemini, like they're the zodiac symbols in space, and it's like a animated. It had the same like 70s psychedelic feeling to it. I don't know.
Ralph Bakshi, maybe.
Yeah, like just like fucking the like wispy people flying around in space, doinking.
Yeah. That was a fun little sequence.
Yeah.
Then they get saved, and then they go back, and the movie continues on.
Well, they don't get saved. They almost got found out.
Yeah, but they
And they're
play
wearing
cool.
they're not wearing any pants.
Oh yeah, they're over the banister.
Yeah, they're over the banister.
You guys okay? Yeah, we're fine. And then it just cuts to them.
And their
from
ass.
the perspective of their asses out. Yeah.
Naked from the waist down, ass out, double cheeked up on a Tuesday.
Basically.
I'm gonna have fun putting in audio clips afterwards, dude.
But it fits. So the movie continues on from there, and it's sort of established in like a silent scene. It's not being like said straight away until like later on, where there's something wrong with the whale, and the old man's noticing like it's something with the water levels or something that are changing. And eventually the frequencies of the whales like flushing or intake of eating or water becomes more frequent, and the water level just keeps rising up and up as time
Whales
goes
going
on.
down and water going up.
And basically they're sort of at this ultimatum where it's like, okay, we could stay here and die, basically.
And here comes one of the biggest things. The whole point of the movie is coming up, kiddos.
Yeah.
Pay attention.
And then, or do we escape and go back into the world, into a world of uncertainty, but into the world regardless?
Yeah, I think Nishi says, even if I'm a loser, I want to be someone up there walking around, something along those lines.
Oh yeah,
like even if I'm nothing, I just want to be up there walking around. You know.
Exactly.
I wish he was fucking Carl from Aqua Teen Hunger Force. That would have been better.
And none of this matters.
All this matters.
This used to be a good country until people like you came in and ruined the place. Carl from Aqua Teen Hunger Force playing Nishi. That would be so funny. Just be complaining about everything.
Yeah, dude. Have you seen that one fucking... There's like this weird Adult Swim promo and it's like fucking two of the girls. I don't even fucking know their names because I'm never going to watch Eva. Neon Princess Evangelion. Yeah, dude, that's the one. Mm-hmm.
NGE.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Anime.
Yeah, anime. It's just like two of the girls from that standing in an elevator with Carl. And he just goes, this don't matter. None of this matters.
I agree with him.
Because isn't that... Wait, whoa. I just thought about something. Anyways, let's go on. They have to escape the whale. They do some training. They're rowing. They start let's just jump ahead. The day has come. They got to get out of the whale.
Yeah.
They're rowing their boat upstream. They're cruising along. You go.
I want to say that this works like the whole sequence that happens there, like right before the escape, and they're going away from the raised platform, living conditions that they're living in. It's sort of like it's of course it's saying goodbye to the place, but I feel like to put on my art, like my artistic critic theory cap real quick. I feel like it does work as a metaphor of like, okay, you're growing up, you're having fun, but eventually you're gonna have to leave things behind.
You gotta buckle down. This is a crazy movie to watch at like 26, 27, I would say. Yeah. This'll fuck you up good.
Yeah.
I wish I saw this movie when I was younger instead of like Repo Man. Because like maybe I wouldn't have been such a nihilistic little piece of shit. Yeah,
it's kind of funny because that's a topic that we often delve into, and it's a very like a little bit gut wrenching to a certain extent. I've seen this movie multiple times, but the first time I watched it, or second time especially, I was just like, ooh, that hit hard.
Dude, this movie like definitely resonated. Definitely hit. It do be hitting.
Because like it's dealing with all these, because what you can establish then from all the prior scenes, what's happening is that like they kind of have this like second chance at reverting back to childhood and being able to express themselves and have fun again like they were kids. But eventually, time creeps up because the whale's dying and they have to escape and they have to grow up and go back. They have to go into the real world. But at the same time, it's not like nihilistic about it. It's not like being like, oh, well, we're going to go back to the boring, lame real world where everything's shit. Like they're thinking about like the potentials of like going up and like what the world has to offer and stuff like that. And it's also established in this scene where the character of Myeon's sister sort of like has this little like dog collar on her. And the funny part is throughout the movie, you see these scenes of like a younger Myeon and Nishi and Myeon's sister. They find this little like Shiba Inu fucking like stray dog, and Nishi's like, I'm gonna take care of it and I'm gonna take it home. Like my mom thinks it's school. But at that moment she realized like, wait a minute, like Nishi was just kind of talk in his talk, you know what I mean? Just kind of like, I'm going to do this and that. And like, she just kind of went on with it, but didn't realize that her sister was really the one like doing the work, doing all the heavy lifting. Because throughout the movie, it's kind of established like she had to give up a lot of like dreams and ideas growing up as herself to, you know, take care of her family, you know, because the mom wasn't there. The father's an alcoholic that kind of like travels everywhere, just like a womanizer apparently. And
yeah, he's like, it's crazy. We did brush past this, but the dad's just talking about like cheating on his wife in front of his daughters, which is just classic.
Yeah, and they're like classy. Normal about it. And they're like, oh well, you know, that's just dad. But like Nishi gets like kind of very upset about it. But anyways,
let's get back to the.
Yeah, so it's kind of established at that moment where Myeon realizes like, oh my god, my sister's just been carrying all of this weight of like taking care of me and taking care of like the family affairs and the house and all of this other shit that like I didn't carry my weight. It's like a coming to like a realization, being like, oh wow, like an epiphany moment where it's like I should help you because like you've done all of this for me. So that gets established. And all the characters just get this like sort of joie de vivre or like this motivation, like
joie de vivre. You just fucking said joie de vivre. Hell yeah. Good job, dude.
Thanks, dude.
You fucking snuck that. You just snuck there. Snuck that in, huh? We also briefly brushed by fucking the old man is the gangster from that sequence of one of the sequences we see earlier in the movie. It's kind of there's this theme about him talking about if I had a. Well, actually, no. This kid says if I had like we see this kid with the fucking toy. It's like a little time reversal watch. Yeah. Like that goes around it's like a belt. The dad goes to fucking get drugs. He accidentally takes the toy belt out and makes it a whole thing. It's all a mess. It's how he got the guy, old man, got into the whale. So you find out that the Yakuza from earlier in the movie, he at one point says, if only I had a belt that could go back in time. Old man's wearing said belt inside the whale. Yeah. That's kind of all put together towards the end there.
All the threads sort of intertwine.
Can you answer something for me?
I'll try.
Okay, so he goes to kiss Myeon. She says no. Then puts the old man in front of him. What the fuck was that? What was he supposed to tell him? I was confused there.
I think it was just at a sense of because it was early in the movie that sort of had like their little differences, especially after like Nishi's little crying fit about being stuck in the whale. And I think maybe it was just this whole thing of like, come on, like we're all in this together. We're all bonding over this, you know. Apologize for like maybe wrongs that have been done because like Nishi was kind of acting very like arrogant and this older man.
No, but she says the old man has had something to say, and he doesn't say it, dude.
And I think that's pretty interesting. It's like this weird ambiguity that happens that I think is rather interesting. You know what I mean? Because it's like, what could he have meant by that? You know?
Yeah, but anyways,
because they.
Oh, you go.
But anyway, no. Sorry, you go.
No. What were you gonna say?
I don't know what I was going to say.
You had something to say, and I cut you off. I apologize. Yeah, they start making their way out of the whale, right? They're paddling their boat. They're going real fast. They got a couple motors strapped on that piece, a couple twin 275s. Fucking open that up on the lake, see what work is right there, boy.
Yeah. These fucking crazy drums were playing in the background.
Yeah,
like this
sick free jazz.
Yeah. Like just like that. Birdman ass fucking Boredoms. Like when Boredoms at the soundtrack for Ishi the Killer, there's like sequence in that movie that has like this drum soundtrack. It's just this crazy fucking just like snare abuse going around and just hitting all the fucking
drums. How about this? DC the Killer. Mike DC.
Ooh,
my penis.
Mike DC. My penis. That'd be such a weird movie where instead of a crying assassin, it would be Mike DC annoying people till suicide with his fucking music.
My penis.
And all the women start screaming.
That's one of the best videos on the fucking planet, dude. I love that shit.
It's up there with like some of the worst performances.
It reminds me of the fucking Brony rave video. I'll timestamp I'll fucking link these in the description or whatever. You know what I'm talking about? The most awkward rave ever.
Oh yeah, I've seen that one where the guy falls off the back of the stage.
Dude, it's so makes me sick.
It's a disaster.
Makes me
disgusting.
Sick.
look this guy fighting a ghost over here. This kid just punching the air in front of him and shit.
All right.
Hey, if I gotta get down, then I don't want to get down with those people. That's for sure. Fuck me, dude. That's a hilarious fucking video.
That video is so good because he doesn't match the energy of the room whatsoever. It's a bunch of like uptight young conservatives in like suits and shit.
Yeah.
And he's like,
dude, it's like 40-year-old folk in there just sitting
they're not
like,
even. Yeah, you're right, dude. Yeah, they're on the older end. Yeah, but then the boat breaks. They gotta run. They're running. This is a fun little sequence. You see, a lot of different flashbacks that give them various motivations to keep
or help
running.
them in the process.
Or help each other, or help themselves.
So what happens?
Guga Plesiosaur comes back for a second.
Yeah, helps that old man.
Yeah. Do you think the Plesiosaur died? You think it's inside the whale dead? Or you think it got out? You think it? I hope it got out. He seemed chill.
Yeah, maybe he's hanging around the old man because they're homies, because they've been with each other for like 30 years. And it's also like established that this Plesiosaur is like loves the old man, because it's like there's this moment where he's like floating, he's like passing out in the water during the sequence. You think, oh no, old man's gonna die. And then like his lips lock lips with the Plesiosaurs, and there's like this little kiss bubble that shows up, and then he wakes up again, and then like he's back in the race.
He's back
it's funny
on.
Because like throughout all the sequence, there's like all these little flashback moments that like tie a lot of things together, like even just like random flashbacks that like explain why it makes sense how they're doing it. Like, how are they running on the surface? Oh, it's because you have certain mammals that like, just a flashback to high school where it's like, oh, mammals have these hairs on their feet that make them like,
literally it's just whatever explanation it needed. Literally at one point they're running on molecules, literally.
That was awesome.
I just really quick, this is something that just kind of came to me, and I'm just going to blast through the rest of this real quick. This whole sequence happens, and it kind of ties up all the threads in the movie, right? It gives you a lot of answers for various little things. Nothing in terms of finality, because they shoot into the air out of the whale. They're flying above Japan, Tokyo, I guess. Maybe Tokyo. Probably Tokyo, realistically. Maybe Kyoto, who knows? They're flying. It does have the Zakum Bridge aesthetic, and maybe Kyoto has that because that's Boston's sister city.
Well, they're talking about going to Tokyo. No, I think it was they were at the coast of Osaka. I think they mentioned in the whale.
Okay.
So
True. But it's kind of interesting because when they're flying through the air, you start seeing all the different possibilities in life. Like hundreds of different lives flashing by of all of them, different possibilities. And it's just kind of interesting to contrast that, like in the scene previous, where you're getting a lot of closure on little bits and character developments.
It's because the switch is being made there, where they're leaving all of that behind, all the pre-established past.
Yeah, to find on the future. Yeah, it's the opportunity of the future. This is a movie about taking life by the horns.
Yes, it's
about also I had these two notes. I had dudes rock and epic. I don't remember what I wrote epic about. Epic. I remember I said I was gonna forget what I wrote it about, and I
forgot what scene it was about.
And I followed through on that promise.
You just had to say the word epic. You just had to get it in there.
I think I said it like this, dude. Epic.
Yeah, that's like how I said joie de vivre, you said epic. So perfect. We
God, that's a bell curve right there. I'm like the left.
Joie de vivre to epic. You know what I mean? So it's but yeah, that's where the movie sort of ends. It goes into this sort of like post-credit sequence that sort of lines up the
really
life of the old man.
Thing. Your life is a result of your own decisions. It was at the end of the movie, once on a billboard, and then it was also at the beginning of the movie. You pointed out
on the cell phone that like Nishi sending a message to someone.
Yeah. So that was a nice little another like loop back. I get this movie kind of has like a time is a flat circle. This all happened once, it'll all happen again type beat, if you will.
Yes.
I gotta stop describing things as type beat.
That's one of the bigger elements of this movie, is just like a lot of reflection of all these different characters. And it's like Nishi was sort of established at the beginning of being a main character, but once they get past like his reincarnation basically and getting a second chance, like every single character in this movie, aside from the Yakuza who just like they disappear basically.
Yeah, that plot element's just dropped like it's fucking hot, dude.
However, it loops back all the way back to the car at the beginning of the movie, where the events play out differently. So the guy in the car, like the old Yakuza guy who was in the bar,
son of old man.
Yeah, he also has his own little storyline going on that gets also established in flashbacks, where he has this. I think it actually kind of ties in with Mion's dad and stuff like that, because in the end of the movie, it shows the title card Mind Game, and then it gets like this sort of like recap of how it all started, basically. And it also shows his story. He was basically like a young gangster, but he fell in love with this woman, but she got kind of like taken away by Mion's dad, and he sort of still has feelings for her. And it's sort of established like that night that he was gonna go to that fucking takoyaki place or whatever. He was going to meet up with this woman, basically start his life again. So he was actually going through his own process at that point, but at the end of the movie, it flashes back to the car. He has this like almost like he drops back into the seat, and he's like kind of looking bewildered, like he just kind of flashed this all in his own brain, like all the shit that's happening. And Atsu's running away from the car, the beginning sequence, and he drives off to this train station and meets up with this mysterious woman who isn't established, but we know from flashbacks and all of this other stuff that's how they're related. And he gets on the train and they ride off.
So did anything happen? Who knows?
I mean, the movie ends with the fucking card that says, this story is not over.
I know.
So like
the story never ends, I think is what it was. Time is a flat circle. You'll die and live again, and then die again. Get used to it, nerd.
Exactly. A lot about reincarnation, perseverance, creativity. It crams a lot of like very positive themes into this.
Yeah, this movie was like, it made me feel kind of bad, but also pretty good. It made me wish I had seen, again, I wish I had seen this earlier, because I feel like there's a lot to take away from it as a young man, if you will, trying to make his way in the world today. Yeah.
I feel like the thing about this movie is it requires multiple watches throughout your lifetime a little bit, because I watched this maybe, the first time I saw this movie was maybe like somewhere between 2011 and 2013, when I was way younger and I was just coming out of high school and kind of going into this uncertain future ahead of myself. And at that point, I was just like taken aback more by the animation itself rather than the message. But the more I've watched this movie like multiple times over the years at this point, and the more and more like you can get like, even if you just get one message out of this entire movie, like there's always something new to interpret it through, like a different lens. The older you get, the more experiences you have, and you watch it and you interpret it differently.
Well, obviously I'm running this through the lens of my own life, but definitely makes me want to consider my decisions more while I'm making them.
I mean, that movie came to me in...
Bro, this movie has me bugging that every single thing I do is going to have some crazy spider-webbing butterfly effect starring Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah, that's the next movie we're going to talk about.
Dude, woo! Nah, I don't know, dude. I gotta know. I don't know what I'm going to do for the next episode, or what the format, how this format's going to work.
Yeah,
what the plan is.
There's a lot of ways you can go. There's a lot of people with a lot of good suggestions.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Like, you're more than welcome to be on whenever you want.
Yeah, I'm always down to watch fucking great movies.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean,
I keep going about this movie for like hours. So
well, we're in a good spot to start wrapping this up. We did an hour 15 minutes.
Yeah,
and that blew by. I honestly think this has been going pretty stellar. Pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of my favorite movies. I'm happy that I got to share it with you, that you got like enjoyment out of this as well.
I'm definitely gonna try and watch this again in the future. Like this is, like you said, I'm gonna try and watch this every 5 years maybe for the next 10 years. What you can do as well is like, because sometimes I run into people that have never heard of it because they know maybe about the I've seen this in my recommended for years and always ignored it because anime.
But you were gravely fooled, because
I was fooled by the title card. It's true.
Yeah,
this movie fucking so much imagination, man. Fucking Disney ain't got shit. Disney's Imagineers ain't got shit on this guy.
Fuck Disney. Modern Disney, Pixar, what a fucking load of trash. But yeah, I'd highly recommend this to anybody, especially to like people that are just like entering adulthood, especially. Like watch this when you're like 18, 19 or 20, 21. It's at first you're not going to really get it. You're going to be more like taken aback by all the animation, all the crazy shit that's happening.
Watch it twice. Unless you're some kind of pussy bitch.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's right. I said it.
Yeah. Get scraped, losers. Fucking.
Yeah, dude, that's a great way to start your podcast. The first episode, start insulting the
viewers,
the listeners.
Yeah, but yeah, hands down, one of my favorite movies of all time. Highly recommended. And even if you're 21 or 28 or fucking 40 years old, doesn't matter. It's just a treat to watch. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. I consider it one of the best movies in general, and it's just.
You're just gonna say best movies in general, huh? You're gonna put that in the top 10 best movies of all time?
I would put that in my personal top 10. Yes.
Okay.
For sure.
But all time ever?
All time ever? Tough one.
Yeah, that's I think that's actually impossible to decide that list.
That's the thing. It's like, I'd say one of the best in my opinion. Then I'll change the wording of it.
The best movie is probably The Exterminator starring
yes,
Richard Ginty.
The Exterminator starring Robert Ginty.
Robert Ginty.
James Glickenhaus.
No, I don't know, dude. You know what? This movie is the worst movie I've seen in my entire life. No, I would definitely recommend this movie. Again, like you said, to anybody who's like young adult. I think definitely it also might resonate a little bit more if you're a creative type.
Oh, for sure. You're into animation, you're into illustration, watch this.
If you don't want to get a real job, this is a good movie for you.
Yeah, like me.
If you think about it, the idea of a job makes you sick.
Yes.
It's a great movie for you. That's how I describe artists, is people who don't want to get jobs. The idea of work upsets them so much, they're like, fuck it, I'm gonna make something so I don't have to do that.
Yeah, I'll put more effort into doing something else rather than getting a simple job.
That's my cynical take on art.
Yeah, but that's a whole other topic for a different thing.
We'll do that on the not this podcast or ever. It's a conversation that doesn't need to be had. We've
had it multiple times already.
Yeah, it's already happened, and it's also just a negative toilet spin.
Yeah.
It's like giving yourself a psychological swirly.
Yeah. So we won't go down a path. We'll end on some good note. So watch it.
Yeah, watch the movie. It was a good movie. It's always going to be a good movie. It's not going to stop being a good movie. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, you can find it on. We watched it on Amazon.
Yeah, it's on Amazon Prime in the U.S. I'm sure it's also on all sorts of fun and cool websites.
Yes, exactly. And hey, I think there's I know there's a DVD release, and then there's probably a Blu-ray release.
Yeah, honestly, buy physical media. Support physical media. Don't buy digital. Yeah. Digital's bad.
Exactly. So you can probably find a cut like that.
Dude, give me my big box CDs, please.
Yes. Bring that back. Bring it back.
Dude, the thing that's crazy about this is this is a useless tangent. I'll delete this in post.
Yeah.
But fucking Steam and all these game services, dude, you don't actually own any of the games, so they could technically take them away from you whenever you want. You're just like licensing them.
I mean, yeah, you can get your account banned and you can't access any of your shit.
Yeah,
so
whack. Totalitarian and whack, not chill. Anyways, thank you everybody for listening. This is a show now. TM trademark.
Yeah. Copyright.
I own it. Fuck you, everybody.
Yes.
It's mine. I came up with it. I said the name for this show. And I'm not even. It probably is already taken.
You should just check.
Truthfully, dude. Let's see.
Is there some funny beep edits in this?
Fuck yeah, dude. It's. Fuck. All right, whatever. I'll figure it out. I'll change.
We'll figure it out. You just gotta bleep it out at the beginning, basically.
I'll just edit over it, dude.
Put a fart noise over it or something.
Yeah, dude. The name of my show is Fart Long Through Door.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you for having me on the show.
Dude, the Fart Long Through Door podcast, dude. Episode 1.
Mind game.
I'm saying this is a joke, but I might name it that. I think it'd be pretty pretty fun.
That could work.
It's definitely not an idea if I ever want this to be even remotely something that goes anywhere. But yeah,
I'll help you like end the show. Thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it.
This was fun. I enjoyed myself more than I thought. This was a lot smoother. This was a very easy conversation.
I mean, yeah, shit. It's a fucking great movie, and it's always fun talking to you. We fucking talk all the time anyway.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Movies. That is true. We did watch movies literally 12 hours ago.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. I was thinking about that guy's dreads. I was thinking about that guy's dreads, dude. I was thinking about that guy's dreads all day.
But Hologram Man, that's going to be episode 29 or something.
Dude, yeah, I'm going to say that's episode 41. Hologram Man.
Okay.
And I'm
41.
I'm gonna force your hand and Skip's hand and anybody else who is there into talking about Hologram Man and its merits.
So that's
But I'm gonna make everybody watch it back to back twice. Fucking, it's like honestly, it felt like that movie was the equivalent to the CIA torture where they lock somebody in a room and they just blare metal and flash lights in their face. Yeah, that's like what watching Hologram Man was like. It was just fucking constant noise.
I feel a sensory overload. Yeah,
it was just something had to be going off 24/7 in that movie. And then there was these Mad Max cars, and the fucking deagle that shot the hollow points were lasers. And then that gun was completely useless. They made a huge deal out of it. Like, I need to improvise. Well, now we're doing the fucking Hologram Man episode.
We might as well talk about Hologram Man as well. Just lengthen the episode to 2 hours.
You want to just do a brief? No, I'm fucking. We're out.
We'll do it some other time.
Another day. But all right, this was good, man. I will talk to you probably right after this. Yeah. Once I stop recording. But thanks everyone for listening.
Thank you very much.
We're out.